Andy, Bombman007 here. Wanted to bring you another tutorial today on the PoxNora website navigation. So if you're brand new to the game, hopefully this will kind of help you learn the website and maybe some things about it that you didn't know. So on the behalf of TCGBAYCOM, also known as Pox Portal, go there for all your rune needs. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how this thing works. So on the home page here, when you first come to Pox, we have our Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube links, obviously. And, of course, they advertise the newest expansion stuff. You have your top 10 solo players, your top 10 team players, and then your top 10 guilds. There's also the current news and announcements that they post here. And then Maps does a great job of posting the current tournaments and things that are coming up around the corner in the events tab. So make sure you visit those to keep abreast of all the things happening in Pox as a general idea. In the game info area, you've got an overview of Pox, which kind of just gives you an idea of what Pox is about, what kind of game Pox is. The factions, it breaks down each of the individual factions for you. Now, if you do click on a particular faction here, what will happen is it brings you up to that faction's page. It shows you in a 15-15 split battle group what kind of faction bonus that the faction gives, and then it also tells you what happens if you play a full faction battle group. If all 30 of your runes are the same faction, it gives this particular bonus. It shows the top 25 players in the game, and then it also shows you the current battle group, that if you were to buy the starter battle group for that faction, like the Underdepths, then it would show you every rune that's in it. And of course, you can always click on the rune to get more information about it. So the faction pages are actually pretty decent, and gives you an idea of what each of them are about. So if you're unsure of which faction to play, just go over, click on a link, and you'll be able to see exactly what that faction's about. Alright, so avatars, it kind of gives you a breakdown of all the avatars, a little bit of story about them, and then if you click on a particular one, it will show you how they level and everything, and then it shows you every one of their upgrade abilities and what they're capable of doing. So it kind of fills you in on how the avatars work. The Getting Started tab, well, again, it's going to kind of break down what type of game PoxNora is and how it works. And then here's your fluff. If you love to read the stories and things like that, this is where you get caught up on the fluff of PoxNora. It takes you through an entire preview of the game and all of its story. So you can go to Game Info and the PoxNora story in order to read all the fluff and everything there. It's a really neat story. And if you want to get caught up on its history, that would be the place to go. Frequently asked questions, mainly asking about the JavaScript and things like that. Some game links to the forums and to some other things around, and then tournament rules. If you ever want to play in the ticket drafts, it tells you exactly all the rules and all the legal stuff for that. Shows you what you can win and how to do that. So that's your game info tab. The media is pretty neat. Screenshots area, wallpaper, and even an interactive world map. When you go to it, it will show you some different facets of the game and stuff. So, really cool stuff there. So, check it out when you're around. You might find something interesting there. Okay, so the next area that you might want to go to is the marketplace. This is where you'll spend your cash to buy station cash, so that you can purchase runes and things with your money. So that's the marketplace. Pretty self-explanatory. And one thing that you may not know that we'll touch on is the newest runes are always like listed with new. Currently, the newest expansion is the Wild Alliance box. That's the last big expansion, and the Wild Alliance Legends is the newest set that's out. And I'll show you how to look at that more under the Rune Manager and Player Rewards. Moving on to the Rune Manager, if you are brand new to Pox, when you first start the game, you are given a Burning Tree deck. And so the Rune Manager is where you'll actually go to create battle groups and things like that once your collection begins to grow. You can hit create battle group in order to bring up another one. You can name it whatever you want, and then you place runes into it from your collection into that battle group. Well, since we're brand new, we don't have a whole lot of runes to choose from right now, which is fine. All your runes are stuck in these battle groups, and we're going to show you how to earn more runes as the tutorials continue. The Rune Trader, this is where you can go to trade away your runes to other players in the game. You can create a trade. You can search, for specific runes in the game. So this is the area where you will actually go to create and do the trades. Player rewards. Now, take a few seconds here on player rewards, because this is where it's actually a database for your collection and all the runes in the game. If you go to the factions, it'll list all the factions that are in the game, so you can actually search for runes, by that particular faction, or if you want it broad, you can go to all factions. Rarities, of course, breaks down the rarities from common all the way to legendary runes, and you can break down your searches by that. But now the expansions, if you're new to the game and you're like, well, what's the last expansion that came out? What box should I buy? What runes should I purchase? I think what you're going to hear 90% of the players in this game say is always purchase runes from the last expansion or maybe two. The very last expansion we had was a legendary expansion, so all the runes in it are legendary. So if you'll notice, when we switch our search to legendary, all the runes still show up. Clicking on a particular one will show you exactly what the rune has and is able to do. So that's the last expansion. Now, the last full expansion was the Wild Alliance expansion. So if you're joining us after that, just use whatever the bottom expansion is on the list down here. But Wild Alliance was the last full expansion as of this tutorial. And if you'll notice, see, there's no legendaries a part of it. So if you go to all rarities, it'll show you every rune for every faction that this expansion had, including the 150,000 gold rune with Snoogvy the Ant Bear. If you want to know what all the commons are, just drop down and show you all the commons. Now, if you want to know what all the commons are in the entire game, you can just go to all releases, and it will show you every single common that's in the game. Alright, now, what I want you to pay particular attention to right now are the little gold symbols beside. PoxNora went to a free-to-play system not too long back, and you can play the game to earn gold. And what I recommend for you guys is, if you browse through all these tabs through here, packs, campaigns, avatars, tokens, decks, it will show you everything that's available for gold. Now, one of the things that some of the players is going to recommend is that you go to decks over here, and if you're new, we recommend going to the Wrath Starter and purchasing it, and to the Protectorate Starter and purchasing it, and you may even want to buy two of each of these, because they give you a plethora of runes for those factions that will help enable you to begin to get a collection of runes in the faction that you want to play. So if you want to play, say, I don't know, we'll pick one here. Let's say that you want to play Iron Fist, for instance. Alright, well, you can go to the Iron Fist Stronghold, and you can go to all releases, and it will show you every single rune in the game for Iron Fist. It will also show you all the runes available for gold, and then if you purchase the Protectorate pack, it will show you it'll highlight in blue the runes that are available through that pack. So, a very good way of getting started is to buy the Protectorate and Wrath starter packs over there under the player rewards and then the Dex function for just 200 gold. It's a pretty good buy. So we definitely recommend doing that. And then as your gold count continues to increase, stick with your faction and buy, some higher costing gold champions and things out of it. For instance, you could buy, like the Interrogator for 200, common rune, or maybe you want the Diplomat out of there. Well, that would be 15,000. And then if you have the Patience of Job, well, grind your gold out and even eventually buy the King of the Runes, 150,000 gold piece in Iron Fist, Inquisitor Magnus. So he's an awesome piece and is completely free and available for gold if you have the patience to grind him out. So that kind of gives you an idea of what to look for and how to use the Rune Manager. Now, we have some Underdepths runes. So if we want to see like the runes we have of Underdepths right now, they show up highlighted in blue, and then if you have multiple of that copy, it'll show the number out to the side. So right now we have 2 Merc Demons and like 1 Temple of Brutality. So it shows you the quantity and it kind of highlights them for you. And of course you can click on any rune in the Rune Manager or Player Rewards, and it will show you exactly what the rune does. So learn your player rewards. That is actually, it'll show you, like all the avatars you own. Right now I have none on this account since we're using this as a tutorial. There's no avatars there, but it'll even highlight the avatars you have, the tokens that you might have, and you can buy character point leveling tokens with your gold. So if you want to buy a gold coin that will add a star to your champion's level, you can do that for 100 gold in the player rewards. So the player rewards is where you use all of your gold and buy runes and things with that gold. Now the rankings tab, solo ranking is going to show you all the top players in the game. It always starts with the number 1 guy all the way down to the bottom. Team rankings will show you the top team players in the game. So they are listed from the top to the bottom, and then your top guilds, and then the Drums of War. Now, for some of you guys, maybe you don't know this, but the Drums of War is a pretty neat aspect of Pox. It's a battle between both the sides, and right now, currently, Wrath is winning the war. Now, as these bars continue to fill, then little swords will appear down here, and as they appear, that means that it fills a tick in on the Drums of War chart. Now, once a particular side fills up their entire chart before the other one does, that means they win the war. Now, if you win the war and you are the number 1 guy for your faction, you win 30,000 gold if you're on the winning side. If you're the number 1 guy on your side on the losing side, then you win 15,000 gold. And then if you score at least 50 faction points for the winning side, you get 1,000 gold added to your account just for being on the winning side, as long as you have a minimum of 50 points. So the Drums of War is a pretty fun way to express Wrath versus Protectorate. And then you can always search for player if you wanted to. So like if you wanted to look me up, for instance, you could just type in Bombman007, click your submit button, and then after a few seconds, it's going to bring up my win-loss record in ranked and show my name and even have a link to my profile. So here I am. I'm currently 168 in the game. There's my experience. There's my wins and losses in ranked. And there's my winning percentage. And then if you click on my name there, it brings you to my profile and shows you everything that I'm currently doing in the game. Okay, and so that does it for the rankings tab. Now to the forums. Alright, so I know a lot of you new guys are obviously not idiots, and you know how to use the forums and stuff. Announcements is where MEPS keeps us abreast of all the things happening in games, tournaments, updates, maintenance, patches, things like that. Community news, technical support, bugs, troubleshooting, all this stuff doesn't really need an explanation. Training grounds is for the newer guys. But the one that just about everybody frequents is the general discussion. This is where you're going to find a list of the top sticky threads, and then this is where the main chat of the game goes on. So if you want to know where all the players in Pox are hanging out, it's right here in the general section of the forums. Okay. Now, if you are new, this is one thing that we try to stress to you guys about increasing your rune collections and getting specific runes for your collections is in each of the factions. If you go down here just a little bit past the general here, you've got faction discussions. Each of these factions, there are players that have taken their time to set up rune pools, okay? And these rune pools are a very, very helpful tool for you to increase your runes inside that faction. So if you want to get into Kathir Forest, then you can click on the Kathir Forest faction discussion, and sure enough, right here is the rune pool. Kathir and Forglar Swamp share a rune pool, so you can just click on that, and these guys have set up all the rules and stuff. Very, very simple to use. Just read through the rules and go through the terms and conditions. But guys, these guys have taken the time to do this, and they do it for a reason, to help you get into the game and into the faction that you want to get. Typically, their trades are very, very simple. You just trade 1 or 2 runes in for any rune of your choice, and that is all the tax you pay, and it's not necessarily for profit. What it's for is to help players like you that are new to the game. So I challenge everybody to use the rune pools. You just trade in the runes you don't want, and they will trade you Kathir Forest runes or Forglar Swamp or whatever faction you want. Guys, use the rune pools. They are very, very good tools for new players to have. Inside the faction discussions too, most of the time you have a newbie guide and some other helpful information that's sticky there, plus an ongoing discussion of everybody and their idea for battle group ideas and things like that inside their faction. So the forums are obviously a huge part of the game, and it's one that you'll probably frequent quite a bit in your PoxNora history. So we've touched on the general tabs. Now up here in the top right, you've got links to your profile, okay, and since this is a new account, it quite hadn't got rolling yet. Your guild, if you're a part of one. Your buddy list. You can go directly to your rune manager. Your messages. Now, if you do have messages in this game, then right up here beside of the logout button, and typically there's an account name right here. I think because this account's so new, it hasn't listed there yet. But right up here will be a flashing envelope sign if you have a message. So you can either click the little envelope or go to My Messages and check that. And then inside you got your inbox, sent, drafts, trash, and archives to keep track of your messages for you. Your game preferences, like if you want it to be windowed mode, automatic. You can switch on anything you want and submit it, and it'll save it. So it'll show you that you saved your updates. You can change your username, update your account info, through SOE's station pass and all that other stuff. We're not going to mess with that today. But, you can do all that through the station account manager and stuff there. So don't forget the links up there on the top. And then if you do need some extra help, and like you need to create a ticket if you've got a major problem in the game or something, click on the help and then come right over here to view your service history, and then you can open a support ticket right here pretty easy in the game. So Sony's made it very easy to navigate and get help in the game if you need that. Alright, so we'll have those links, and then down here on the bottom is the exact same links as are up top. just some more direct links if you need to go straight to them. Guys, hopefully you found this tutorial at least a little helpful. It's just about navigating the PoxNora website. And if you have any further questions, feel free to ask me or any other player in game, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Hopefully you found this entertaining and useful, and if not, I apologize for wasting your time. But anyway, BombmanNoble7 for TCGBAY.com. We'll see you in game.